thing on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call our city council meeting for January the 26th, 2017, which happens to be my wife's birthday, so happy birthday, dear. So I won't get in any trouble, you know. But if you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. Reverse that. God, we thank you for this day and the blessings you bestow upon us. Bless us as a community, bless us as a city, bless us as a state, and bless us as a nation. Help us to constantly work together to try to create a better quality of life for each and every individual that lives in this great country. Give us wisdom, give us understanding, give us peace. In thy precious name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start our regular meeting, we're going to have the State of the City address. Those of you who have been here over time know that I tape them because I used to put myself to sleep reading the State of the City addresses because they could be very boring. But we try to put some light into it, and then we use it for a year on our website for people who are researching North Charleston. They've got something they can look at to think about us a little bit. So the lights are going to be turned down for this, so don't want you to be unexpecting that when the lights go down. You know, I often wonder, would 1994 North Charleston be able to recognize North Charleston of 2016? There's no doubt that the city has dramatically transformed for the better over the past 22 years. This year, we continued our improvement. Before being elected, I saw a North Charleston that had no real direction, no vision for what it should be. North Charleston simply was. While out on the campaign trail going door to door, I met a lady who set a course for my time as mayor. She said, if you become mayor, I expect you to bring pride to the city. That's been my calling this past year, and it's my calling for the year ahead, as it has been every year since 1994. Fast forward 22 years. We have transformed a city reeling from Navy base closure into a forward-thinking residential community teeming with first-class job and business development. The old village of Park Circle is a prime example. In 1994, the average age of the neighborhood was increasing. Its community spirit had dwindled, and there was no private investment. The city stepped in and purchased the old Liberty Homes neighborhood, developing Oak Terrace Preserve and ushering in a national model for city-led sustainable community development. Shortly after, we saw investment. Young professionals and families buying and renovating older homes, and entrepreneurs buying storefronts along East Montague. Countless mothers pushing jogging strollers, and folks out walking their dogs. That's how I knew the neighborhood had returned. Folks were outside, visiting with their neighbors, caring about the community. Unlike 1994, development in North Charleston is hot. We issued 609 certificates of occupancy, and we have another 713 single-family residential units and an astonishing 2,656 multifamily units in our development plans. Of course, being popular can create strains. In our region, the result has been increasingly snarled traffic. I wish that I could tell you that a city or a mayor could solve this single-handedly. The truth is that the only way to mitigate traffic congestion is adequate funding from the state level. The recent half-cent sales tax is a great local step in the right direction, but it is not enough. Our legislators in Columbia have let the state get $40 billion in the hole. In North Charleston alone, we easily have $2 billion in roadway needs. No city can add a new interstate, but what we can do is push our legislators hard to solve this state-level problem. I am committed to having a proper bus rapid transit for our region that will dramatically improve our regional mass transit system and over time radically transform the future development of the Rivers Avenue corridor. We must commit to getting people out of their cars. Through our leadership, Amtrak, Carter, and Southeastern Stages has come together as we construct the $14.5 million North Charleston Regional Intermodal Transportation Center. This will be a first-class gateway to the Lowcountry with regional and national transportation connections and will serve as a local community gathering place. Bus rapid transit and a new intermodal center will not end our traffic problems, but they are necessary steps that move us in the right direction. Another challenge we wrestle with is the public educational system in North Charleston. In my youth, North Charleston schools were first rate. In certain areas like Dorchester District 2, schools lead the way and are a contributing factor to the area's residential growth. I have been quick and persistent about using my voice to push Charleston County School District forward within North Charleston. For instance, I pushed for Superintendent Dr. McGinley to establish the Creative Arts Elementary School in order to give our students a better chance of one day enrolling in our county's top-performing magnet schools. Today, the school has a new facility, a great principal, and is performing very well. Outside the school campus, the city remains committed to our youth, which is the key reason why we operate 14 after-school programs, summer camps in nearly all of our community centers, and provide a summer feeding and breakfast program at 20 community centers during the summer. We still need the community's full commitment to public schools, especially in our struggling middle and high schools. Fortunately, as the city and region have grown, so have our local employment opportunities. Our workforce, once largely employed by the federal government, is now highly skilled and focused on meeting the demands of our world-recognized businesses. But we haven't lost our blue-collar touch. We still make things with our hands. We build jets and automobiles. And we proudly boast to be the only city in the world to do both. Artisans and craftsmen call North Charleston home, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's a remarkable achievement compared to the North Charleston of 1994 that was facing what seemed a devastating loss of naval employment. The employment boom hasn't been a coincidence. It's been the result of hard work and teamwork. In particular, Trident Technical College, under Dr. Mary Thornton's leadership, is the region's #1 asset for workforce development. That's why the city has committed $1 million towards the construction of the South Carolina Aeronautical Training Center at Trident Tech. One of my greatest joys as mayor has been to see the transformation of our waterfront continue as it is again this year. The road for the naval base has been winding, but nearly 20 years ago we set out with a goal of using it to provide public access to the Cooper River. Riverfront Park has blossomed into one of the area's most beautiful parks. We have far surpassed our goal. 20 years ago, no one would have believed that our Riverfront Park would host huge festivals with the national acts like Roots, OAR, Passion Pit, and others. Even city administration and finances have seen huge advancements during my time as mayor. Inheriting a city savings account of less than $500,000 meant we had to borrow money just to make payroll. Staying true to business development and smart growth of the city, we now boast strong financials and year after year growth. Last year, the assessments grew $620 million. Over the past decade, key revenue streams have seen a tremendous increase. Hospitality collections are up 60%, accommodations up 80%, and sales tax up 27%. Retail sales in 2006 totaled $3.7 billion, and today, $7.1 billion. The numbers tell a much bigger story, more than just what's on an accounting sheet. They tell how hard this community has worked, how hard North Charleston employees have worked, and how North Charleston has engineered a remarkable and sustained transformation. Our numbers show that North Charleston is a community to which people are flocking. Year after year, we invest heavily in our fire department and firefighting infrastructure. The North Charleston Fire Department is one of only 200 agencies worldwide to receive accreditation. Your department responded to a recorded volume of 23,000 emergency calls in 2016. 11,000 of these were to provide emergency medical service. Due to our fire department's presence throughout the city, we're able to respond to EMS calls very quickly. And quite often, the response has life-saving consequences. Like when Squad 203, staffed by firefighter Andrew Marshall and hazmat coordinator Steve Coffin, responded to a traumatic injury last January. Steve, who is also a paramedic, immediately realized the significant injury upon that arrival. Both men jumped into action, applying pressure and dressing the injury. It was determined that the patient had cut his external jugular vein. Actions taken to control the bleeding did stop this patient from bleeding to death. The quick and skillful actions of this crew contributed to the patient's successful outcome. On another instance, Captain Eric Minch and engineer Ashley Coker were dispatched to a residence on Meeting Street where they found a male patient seated unresponsive with a weak pulse in the driver's seat of a vehicle. They were able to quickly open the man's airway. The patient was only seconds away from full cardiac arrest. Due to their quick response, they saved this man from a potential death. We'll never know exactly how many lives our fire department saves every year, but rest assured that they're saviors to many people. I am particularly proud of the North Charleston Police Department. As we all know, the world changed in an instant on April the 4th, 2015. The challenge for all of us has been how to move forward constructively to become better public servants and a better department. The men and women of the North Charleston Police Department have risen to that task. Our officers have challenged themselves to be more understanding and intuitive when dealing with the public. The results are showing. Our department has also taken internal steps to become more transparent and community-oriented. A prime example is the constitution of our Citizens Advisory Commission on Police and Community Relations. This commission will include representation from each council district, along with a representative from the business community and students from our high schools. They will be tasked with promoting transparency with the residents and the police department on matters concerning public safety, procedural justice, and use of force. I am also proud that our department under Chief Driggers has been unflinching about asking for outside review and assistance. In May, at our request, the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services agreed to work with the city on independent and comprehensive review of the police department. Through the review, our partners at the Department of Justice will provide technical assistance, improvement suggestions, and help us to better serve our community. Asking for critiques, particularly outside critiques, takes courage and leadership. North Charleston Police Department deserves respect. While some things need to change, there are also too many instances in which moments of greatness already exist within our police department and are simply overlooked. For instance, when Officer Jonathan Lawrence stopped in a convenience store and purchased a few candies and treats for a couple of young kids, the mother later identified Officer Lawrence through social media and insisted he stop by our home for a personal thank you. During the visit, the mother shared that one of the young boys had autism and that Jonathan's act of kindness would be something her son would remember for years to come. We don't often get to know the impact of a smile, a wave, or even a small gesture like buying candy for a few kids, but in this case, we did. Proactive policing and building positive relationships with the youth of our city is fundamental to the North Charleston Police Department. Quite often, when officers are visiting with residents, they discover ways to impact the life of a child, as Officers Tammy Sad and Reuben Potts did prior to Thanksgiving. The officers approached two young boys to strike up a conversation, to simply ask them how their day was going. As the conversation progressed with the two very courteous and respectful boys, The officers learned neither had bicycles. The officers bid the kids goodbye, but they were determined to come back with very special gifts for them. As Thanksgiving came, officers Tammy Sad and Reuben Potts pulled into the driveway of Roman Small's home. When the officers pulled 2 brand new bicycles and helmets from the back of their car, Roman's eyes lit up with joy only a child could know. It was a little over a month later. While riding his bike, Roman was the unfortunate victim of an errant bullet from an illegal firearm. Luckily, his injury was non-life-threatening and he's now on the mend. And we all wish him a speedy recovery so he can once again enjoy his bike. While on patrol, Officer Danielle Smoke received a call of a car possibly involved in drug activity. She located and stopped the car, but what happened next saved the day. By the time Danielle approached the vehicle, it was discovered the driver had taken a substance, she had no pulse, and wasn't breathing. Officers Christian Glaze, Danielle Azro, and Brandon Brooks arrived on scene to assist, conducting chest compressions and rescue breathing. It took 2 minutes for a pulse to return. Without the quick action and calm demeanor of these officers, the outcome could have been very tragic. These are just a few instances, but the goodwill to the community and service our police officers provide to our citizens are invaluable. Every officer wants the best for our city and works tirelessly every day on its behalf. We need and depend on them, and they need us and our full support. Positive change requires courage and leadership, but it also requires being told the truth. Government cannot single-handedly solve any problem. It also takes individual commitment. I must challenge every one of us, including citizens, employees, elected officials, and members of the clergy, to look inward as we are bombarded with stories about crime, education, and racial equality that seek to unfairly divide us. I believe in my heart that every one of us seeks a world in which our children are well educated, free of fear, and free from discrimination. Government plays a role in that, but so do our families and other community organizations. People may argue about precise prescriptions, but what cannot be argued is that we are doomed without cooperation and personal effort. As President Obama said, we must come together to ensure that those who try to divide us do not succeed. We are at our best when we recognize our common humanity, set an example for our children of trust and responsibility, and honor the sacrifices of our bravest by coming together to be better. North Charleston is moving in the right direction. That is due in part to the hard work and dedication of our city council members. We do not agree on every issue, but we all believe in making North Charleston the best place it can be. I and every single member of council promise you that this city will not rest on its laurels. We still have much to accomplish. As far as we've come, we must push further. We must work towards a common vision of making our place in the world even greater. If not for ourselves, then for our children and our children's children. God bless and good night. I want to thank Ryan Johnson, who helped us with the technical side of this, and he always works very hard for us to help us put on this presentation. All right, Madam Clerk, let's continue with the printed agenda.
Ryan, I don't know how to change the screens. I hope you do. Okay. He's working on it. Item 1 is a request to approve the minutes from the January 12th, 2017 City Council meeting.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 2, which was a request to rezone 2001 Hugo Avenue, has been withdrawn by the applicant.
Okay.
Item 3 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning portions of the properties at 9402 U.S. Highway 78, TMS 487, lots 44 and 40, from R1 Single Family Residential to B2 General Business, and concurrently amend this comprehensive plan future land use map for parcel 044, changing it from single family suburban to major business retail in Council District 2.
Move for approval.
Motion and a second, and discussion. Hearing
Yes,
none.
that's,
Yes, sir.
okay, we're at number 3. Good.
Okay.
We're fine.
All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 4 is the final reading of an ordinance to rezone the property at 2731 Wheaton Street, TMS 48610, Lot 5, from R1 Single Family Residential to R3 Mobile Home Residential, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan future land use map for the same parcel, changing it from single family suburban to mobile home in Council District 3.
Second.
Got a motion to deny and a second.
Second.
Okay.
We have a
We
second.
already have one. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
The motion is to deny.
Correct.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 5 is the first reading of an ordinance authorizing administrative approval of short-term parking licenses at the Riverfront Park and Coliseum Performing Arts Center complex.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Approved for first reading. Item 6 is the first reading of an ordinance authorizing and directing the closing and abandonment of a portion of the Pitkin Avenue right-of-way as shown on that certain plat bearing the legend, plat of the property line abandonment between a portion of city right-of-way and portion of tract A8, TMS 163-000037, City of North Charleston, Dorchester County, South Carolina, property of D.R. Horton, subject to the recording of the final plat in Council District 9.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Approved for first reading. Item 7 is the first reading of an ordinance to renew a lease agreement with J. Brady Hare, City Attorney, and the City of North Charleston for office space at 2500 City Hall Lane.
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Approved for first reading. Item 8 is the first reading of an ordinance to renew a lease agreement with the Coastal Crisis Chaplaincy in the City of North Charleston for office space in City Hall, 2500 City Hall Lane.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey.
Aye.
Approved for first reading as well. Item 9 is the first reading of an ordinance to renew a lease agreement with Crime Stoppers and the City of North Charleston for office space in City Hall at 2500 City Hall Lane.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey.
Aye.
Item 10 is the first reading of an ordinance to renew a lease agreement with the Charleston County Legislative Delegation and the City of North Charleston for office space in City Hall, 2500 City Hall Lane.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
it's your favor, can we do the resolution items 11 through 18 by title only?
Any objection? We will do items 11 through 18 by title only.
Item 11 is a resolution and proposal award for the design and realization of the Amtrak History and Liberty Hill Community Heritage Room to Brockington Cultural Resources Consulting, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, at a cost not to exceed $150,000. Item 12 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement covering area lighting with SCE&G for Palmetto Commerce Center, Cross Point 5, Cross Point Drive in Council District 4. 13 is a resolution to approve the proposal for the design of the North Charleston Dorchester School District 2 Aquatic Center from SGA Architecture at a cost not to exceed $1,174,500. Item 14 is a resolution authorizing the City of North Charleston to purchase property located on Dewsbury Lane, TMS 408-03-00035 for $155,000 to be funded by the Charleston County Greenbelt Program in the amount of $133,000 and District 1 bond proceeds in the amount of $22,000. Item 15 is a resolution accepting Bushel Road and portions of Hawkins Drive, Moss Grove Avenue, Meeting Oaks Drive, Brandishing Road, Fanning Basket Lane, and Roseberry Street into the city system for maintenance. District 9. 16 is a resolution authorizing the City of North Charleston to accept the 2017 Community Pride Grant as well as the 2017 Enforcement Grant from Palmetto Pride to benefit the city's Code Enforcement Department. Item 17 is a resolution authorizing the City of North Charleston to apply for the 2017 South Carolina Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism's Parks and Recreation Development Fund Grant to benefit the North Charleston Recreation Department. Item 18 is a resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of North Charleston to award community assistance grants to 35 local nonprofits that perform services vital to the residents of North Charleston.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Any discussion on any of the items?
Mayor Summey,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like for Councilman Brown, District 1, to please explain item 14.
Yes, item number 14 is the purchase of some property located on Dewsbury Lane, which is immediately, directly in front of the Collins Park Villas. And that property is going to be developed into brand new 6 basketball courts, as well as some hopscotch areas, as well as some picnic and some playground equipment, the whole works. We met with the constituents from Collins Park, and everybody's excited about it, especially being that we have on any given day 60 to 70 kids playing up and down in the streets of Collins Park. So I thank you in advance for your support.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Aye. Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Aye. Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
back again on title only from from 19 to 24, if it's okay.
Okay. Without objection, 19 through 24 by title only.
19 is a request to award the bid for the Highway 5278 interchange roadside planting improvements to the low bidder, Yellowstone Landscape, North Charleston, South Carolina, in the amount of $362,503.55. Number 20 is a request to award the bid for District 3 sidewalk improvements to the low bidder, Green Construction Company, in an amount not to exceed $445,451.72. 21 is a request to award the bid for the roof replacement at the North Charleston Coliseum to the low bidder, Coastal Commercial Roofing Company, Conway, South Carolina, in the amount of $1,655,389. Item 22 is a request to approve the purchase of an asphalt pothole patcher from Public Works Equipment and Supply Incorporated in the amount of $69,539.82, utilizing the National Joint Purchasing Alliance cooperative contract. Item 23 is a request to approve a 3-year wellness strategy plan with Carolina Center Occupational Health with the low bidder in the amount of $33,400. And item 24 is a request to accept a proposal from Trans Systems Corporation for engineering services in the amount of, for engineering services for the City of North Charleston Coliseum design build package for the parking deck in the amount of $607,005. Sorry, ran out of steam.
Have a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Any discussion of any of the items? Hearing
Ms.
none.
Summey?
Yes, ma'am.
I just would like to let the public know that the asphalt pothole patcher that we are buying for over $69,000, I would like the public to know that the majority of the streets are the roads that we will be paving and saving is not in the city of North Charleston. But because the mayor cares about the citizens, he's asking us to approve this. But 95 of the streets that we will be using this pothole patcher on is not in the city of North Charleston. But we have so many problems with potholes that we all agree that we should purchase this machine to help our citizens.
As an explanation, the streets are in the city, but they're either county or state streets. So it's not in our jurisdiction to maintain them. We've been patching potholes, but if you've noticed, rain comes, and they don't last, and it's because the equipment that we have been utilizing is outdated. And so the department has requested this and has assured us it will do a better job in the patching. So that's why we're moving forward on it.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, just to bring clarity, you said streets are actually in the city of North Charleston, but they're just
Not in our jurisdiction as far as maintenance.
Kind of like certain areas of Dorchester, Wheeling, or
Right.
different
We got,
potholes.
see, we only became a city in 1972, so all roads built prior to 1972 are under the jurisdiction of the county or the state.
Just want to bring clarity.
Right. Okay. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 24 is, no, we did that one,
25.
sorry. Item 25 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the City of North Charleston and School District 2 of Dorchester County, setting forth certain terms and conditions regarding construction of the aquatic center. This agreement will supplement, restate, and update the initial intergovernmental agreement between the parties.
Move approval. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
I did.
Mr. Brinson.
Thank you.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
No.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is the appointment of the municipal clerk.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Go ahead. Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir, Ms.
I move that we reappoint our municipal clerk.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye. And congratulations.
Thank you all very much. The next item is the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to appoint Miss Dorothy Williams as Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other nominations? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summey?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I will not let y'all down.
You know, I have stopped and thought, Dot has been a member of this council, as Sam has, for 25 years. That's quite an achievement, and we want to thank you for your service over those 25 years.
And we have some requests to address the city council.
You want to name them?
Sure.
Remind you, when you come up to speak, please give us your name and address. We're using this platform. Your name and address for the record. We need that so we can keep it in our complete filing records. And if you just give us your name and address, you have 3 minutes to speak. The clerk will put on a timer. And as I asked last meeting, there will be no attacks on any of the members of council. We're not going to accept that. If you wish to come up and talk about any issue that you have, as long as you don't make it personal, we're more than glad to hear it.
The first request is from Jonathan Thrower.
Jonathan Thrower of Vestavia Road. It's funny, Mayor Summey, how you can quote President Obama about bringing this nation together, but then you campaign with Donald Trump, who's dividing this country. And I'm not attacking you.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm addressing the concern.
Did President Obama run against Donald Trump?
Now, okay, you taking up my time. So now you're upset. I want my time
I'm not
back.
upset. I'm tired of you.
Now that we speaking truth. So you can get in your feelings. However, in the state of the city address, I didn't hear anything about what's going on in the southern end of North Charleston. I hear about the aquatic center for Dorchester District 2, over $1 million. But they just locking children up for candy, crack, Kool-Aid, and sugar, but they get $1 million. Then we start talking about the revenue tax increase and all that, and roads and things like that. But I was in Dorchester Well, and the people said that, you know, they want a playground and they want more sidewalks. You know, but now I turn around and we just had Elliot Summey get over $37,000 to get brushes and stuff removed from his yard and all kind of stuff and sidewalks. And this is what I'm talking about by inequality. And I'm going to speak like this until something gets done. Because I'm frustrated, a lot of other people are frustrated. And if I got to tell you the hardcore truth every time I get up here, guess what, Mayor Summey? I'm going to tell you the hardcore truth. And you said you talk about people facing retribution. That was the nail in the coffin. Because when you said that, when you threatened us with retribution, and you said something was going to be done, then guess what? We're going to be up here every meeting, and we want to see what your retribution looks like. Until this city decides to stand up and fix what's going on, and we're not scared to help y'all. We'll help. But the thing is, all we want is fair play. And that's what we asking for. Last year's State of the City address is sound the same as this one. We got Westcott, the golf course in Westcott. What happened to the grocery store? You don't even know yet. But you could turn around and take $1 million for the aquatic center and invest in the aeronautical center as far as education. But what about the mitigation program? They received pennies for education for the mitigation here. That was pennies in comparison to $1 million for the aeronautical stuff that we got going on. This is what I'm talking about when I mean fair play, and we getting fed up, and what we doing, we organizing. I know a lot of you got a lot of tenure, but guess what? It's a new voice that's coming, and we want change, and we gonna fight for change, and if that's what we gotta do, that's what we gonna do. Because we frustrated, and we're not gonna let people run around and do what they want to. And I don't care if you vote for Trump, or you represented with Trump and all of that, man, that means nothing to us. Because the policies and the administration that Donald Trump is running is the same thing that Keith Summey is running right now with the racist rhetoric and the racist tone, and we not standing for it anymore.
Thank you for the truth according to Jonathan Thrower.
Yes, now you got something to say.
That's right.
Now you got something to say.
The next speaker is Veronica Thompson.
Thompson.
Good evening, Veronica Thompson, 5122 Westview Street. Thank you for this opportunity to come before you this evening. I hope I don't take up too much of your time. My concern is around the current noise ordinance that is in place for the city of North Charleston. And if I may read it, please. This is section 13-126, unreasonably loud, disturbing, or unnecessary noise. It shall be unlawful for any person to create, assist in creating, permit, continue, or permit the continuance of any unreasonably loud and disturbing or unnecessary noise in the city. Unreasonable or disturbing noises as governed by this section shall include, but shall not be limited to, the operation of gas-powered lawnmowers, gas-powered leaf blowers, and similar equipment used within 300 feet of a residence and operated between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. So my concern, and I apologize for not understanding, I do not know when this ordinance was mandated. I do not know if this ordinance has been reviewed. I do not know if this ordinance is up for review. My concern is that I live in a subdivision, and I was brought up to respect everyone, my elders, to help those that are in need, if I can. My understanding is that if you go to your brother and say, your noise is a little bit too loud, can you please lower it? And you get nowhere with that. So then you call the North Charleston Police Department, and they come out. Well, their hands are tied because the law states, as it is written, that they are within the rights to have their unreasonably loud noise displayed between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. So if I am a shift worker, then my livability is at stake. And what does the ordinance around livability state? It talks about your grass overgrown. It talks about equipment that's on the side of your property. It talks about debris. But the livability of a human is not there concerning the ordinances. When the police officers come, and I am the one that's calling, And they come out and they even say to me prior to coming out that our hands are tied because they are within their rights. But what are my rights? This past weekend, we had tremendous rainfall, and the noise was excruciating. You have people that have boats. It's on dry land. Why do you have to start your boat on dry land and rev it up for hours at a time? You know, my Pastor Robinson says that we ought to do things in decency and order, and I have been trying to work with this since 2008. Captain Joe Stevens, bless his heart, is retired. He has been trying to help. He has sent lieutenants to my home. They've sat at my dining room table. We've tried to figure out what can we do. Can we be neighborly? Yes, we can, but at some point, we need to rise above that. When do we come together? Why is it that the ordinances for the city of North Charleston is different from the city of Charleston when in times of crises, we all come together to help our fellow man? I have a brother that has multiple myeloma. That's bone cancer. Can you imagine when you have a rock band that's playing music at the decibel of 105? That's unbearable. It's Sunday, and the noise is consistent as it is any other day of the week. So what do? I respect the North Charleston Police Department. I respect this council. I need help. We're talking from 2008 up until the present. I attended an ecumenical services for the Dr. Martin Luther King.
Your 3 minutes is up.
Thank you.
But we will, if you will call my office tomorrow
Yes, sir.
and talk with the secretary
Yes, sir.
or the lady at the front desk and give us your name, address, and then I'll have someone look at it, and then I'll have the legal department also look at the ordinance.
Thank you so very kindly, and I do appreciate the council's time in
you.
this matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next speaker is Ms. Ida Draper.
This one here, darling.
I'm Ida Draper, and I live at 5463 Paulson Street in North Charleston. And we're here tonight concerning the plan for a Waffle House to be built at the corners of Paulson Street, Sumner Avenue, and North Red Avenue. And we understand that they are zoned properly, and so are we. But the problem is a 24-hour type restaurant, such as a Waffle House, is a cause for concern. And it won't, under Section 531B1, Limited Business District, clearly states it is in the intent of the B1 zoning district to encourage the formation and continuance of quiet and congested environment. And I'd like to point out at this time that this is not a wide street. For my first 10 years, it was a dirt road. It's not lined. It doesn't have sidewalks. There's 3 homes on it, and this will really interfere with our way of life. But there are. I'm sorry. I'm getting nervous with this.
Sorry.
But the business will be directly in front of 2 of the residences, and if nothing else, they want to access our little street for entrance and exit. Paulson, and then also Sumner, which is a much larger street. They have 180-foot road frontage on North Red. Why couldn't they entrance and exit from North Red? The new Chicken Bojangles has an entrance from theirs, and they entrance and exit from the front and from the side. And we know that progress is going to have to be made. Like I said, we're not opposed to a business. We just don't want it right in our face, this tiny little street. And when there's an available, and there's where the house was before where this is proposed, there's an entrance. So I know that it could be. And all we want is not to have a lot of loiterers. The 24-hour thing is really bad because it's already a congested area. It's not the best neighborhood, and things are moving up this way. They just get a little worse. But a 24-hour restaurant of this type can only lead to more trouble and more crime and more problems. And that's, I guess, about all I can say. I hope you'll consider speaking to them or letting us know what we should do to see if we can get their access prohibited from our area. Thank you.
Does she have any time left? No, ma'am. Thank you.
The next request is from Jesse Williams.
Good evening, Council. I want to remind,
Yes. Address.
Jesse Williams, 2747 Constitution Avenue, North Charleston. Thanks for allowing me to speak. I want to read the first part of the council's, you guys know it, the oath of office. As mayor or councilman of the city of North Charleston, I will equally, fairly, and impartially, to the best of my ability and skill, exercise the trust reposed in me. I emphasize equally, fairly, and impartially. There has been so many articles about crime, specifically in the Dorchester-Wayland neighborhood and neighborhoods around there. In September 2016, North Charleston residents were worried about a lot of shootings there. Here's a couple of things that the people were saying. A resident of Dorchester-Wayland neighborhood enjoyed a few moments of quiet on their porch. And he said, this lady said, ever since January, this is 2016, it's only this street, there's shootings all over the neighborhood. One after another, said the woman, who asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation. Soon as I can get me some money together and find me a place to stay that I can afford, I am gone. A shooting claimed the life of a 23-year-old after that on September 7th on Ranger Drive, Dorchester-Wayland. A lady said, I just pray that this will hurry up and be over with, a woman said. Can you guys feel what's going on? Before rain swept in on Tuesday, a retiree who has lived there 30 years, he said, the problem is you can't even do that anymore, sitting on his porch. You can't even do that, and that's a shame, said the man who requested anonymity due to some safety concerns. New Year's Day of January 2017, an individual was shot at the Andrews Mart on Dorchester Road. I feel like this is a public crisis and concern, and I wish that we'll get more solutions. We would actually get real solutions to deal with these. As I was sitting back there looking at your minutes and what you guys were talking about, what the council was talking about, I kept seeing purchasing of buildings, issues, with different programs, but I'm not seeing real solutions and innovative solutions to these shootings. This is a problem. This is a problem. I really hope you guys can feel this pain that I'm reading here. And we're looking at some of the things. What kinds of resources are being put towards these neighborhoods, like Dorchester-Wayland? That's my question. What innovative ideas are we putting out there? A basketball court? We need way more than that to bring solutions. We recently saw the issue of the embezzlement that Ms. Piercy had 6 years of free rent. What happened with that, council? Where do we stand on that? The article was put in the paper, but we didn't hear any follow-up about that. So I just wish that we would...
You missed the article. That's all.
Yeah. I missed the article. Thank you. I need to check it out. But I just wish we could have some more real solutions, innovative solutions. Please, council. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next request is from Edward Barrow.
Good evening. I'm Edward Barrow. I live at 1213 Summey Avenue, and it looks like Charleston Farms is going to get a Waffle House. But I have two concerns. Actually, most of them, Ms. Draper, she spoke on behalf of our street over here. And two of my major concerns is the noise after hours from an establishment that's open 24 hours a day. And I believe on the planning chart that it had a North Red address, but there's no entrance or exit on North Red. All the traffic is on Sumner and Paulson. And our street is a very, very narrow street, and it can't hold any heavy traffic. The garbage man even has to pull up on Sumner and back down our street in order to turn around. And that's most of everything that Ms. Draper said. I'll back up 100%. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You noted the exit on the street. Yes, ma'am.
I believe that the issue is going to be based on it being right at that intersection that DOT may not allow an exit off of North Red based on the proximity to the intersection right there. So my guess is that's why they've proposed that entrance off Sumner, and we're still looking at the other one.
Give me a report on that. So
I'm sorry?
give me some information on it so we can.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask just
Yes,
one
sir.
quick question? Otherwise, there is zoning for this Waffle House?
Yes, sir. They recently reconfigured the lots, and the lot runs from North Rhett to Paulson, and it is split zone B2 on the front side and B1 on the back side, either of which would allow for the establishment.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other questions? One more?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
signed up.
If you.
The last speaker is from, and I'm sorry, I don't have her first name, is from Ms. Muhammad in reference to the new park.
Good afternoon. Rashida Muhammad, 4240 Wills Court, North Charleston, South Carolina. And I want to thank you very much for being heard this evening. I want to say that my daughter and I started an African dance company in the Wills Court community, Collins Park community, and we had the pleasure to perform for you a little over a month ago. Working with children touches me greatly. I do it from my heart. And my daughter works with me every step of the way, and I pray God that I'm training her to do the same, to have a love for children. We have a lot of wonderful children in the Collins Park area. After school hours, if you ride through our neighborhood, you will see a lot of children running about in the streets, which becomes very dangerous at some point in time. Sometimes I'm backing out of my driveway and I can't even see the little ones. You have to get out of your car just to make sure that the way is clear to move forward and backwards. But our wonderful representative, Mike Brown, had a community meeting that I attended along with some other neighbors, and we learned about the planning for a playground for the children. This really excited me and some of the other people because we need to get your children off of the streets for their safety. We have a program that my daughter and I have started, but it's only on Saturdays. And during the 2 to 3 hours that we're working with the children on Saturdays is more than just African drumming and dancing. We try to teach them cognitive and critical thinking skills. We even go on the tennis court and we teach them how to play tennis. We teach them Tai Chi, different things for their health. So I'm coming before you this evening to ask you once again for your support, to think about the children in the Collins Park area. I want to thank you greatly. Once again, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service to the kids.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
That is all I have,
Anything
sir.
else to come before the body?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to address a couple of the comments that was made earlier. That they attended the Dorchester Wheeling meeting. They would know that 3 churches in the community are having an after-school program for the children to teach them academic work with them with their homework. Also, they have the gym opening up at the church where all 90% of the children in the Dorchester Wheeling subdivision is on a team. And they are not walking the streets anymore. They go to the gym and work out, play basketball. They're working on computers and they're learning. And if these gentlemen would call and ask without making random voice untruth, they would know that sidewalks are requested on a daily basis and sidewalks are being put in Dorchester Wheeling. But because it's not our streets, we have to get permission from the state before we could start putting the sidewalks down. But we have sidewalks all over Dorchester Wheeling. Also, we have cameras all over Dorchester Wheeling. And talking about crimes all over the city of North Charleston, if the citizen would come forward and work with the police department, we would solve a lot of crimes. Like right now, if Mr. Jesse Williams want to come to my house and shoot me, who's going to stop him? The crime would already have happened. But what I'm saying to this is that you...
Well, you called her, so go ahead.
What you have to say to this is citizens in these subdivisions know what's going on. And until they come forward and work with the city and work with the police, we are not ever going to solve the crime that should be solved. Everything is what? This new word, snitching. And everybody, I'm not the snitch, but I think that's the word.
Yeah, snitch.
But everyone needs to speak up and protect. The crime where this 15-year-old boy shot the young man in the Wheeling, the very next day he was caught. You know why? Because the parents and the citizens spoke up. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the parents and the people in the neighborhood to work together and to help solve these problems. We as council, how are we going to stop the crimes? It takes the citizen in the neighborhood to help us. Along with us, we have the police in the Dorchester Wheeling subdivision 24/7. They're in there. What else? I have the cameras. I have the police. What else can I do? And we are breaking ground to put a playground. We already purchased the property for the playground. And we do have after-school programs going on. But I didn't see any one of you at the Wheeling meeting on last Tuesday. I said the Dorchester Wheeling community meeting.
No comments. She has the floor. Thank you, ma'am. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Very
No,
brief.
ma'am, not from the audience. I'm sorry. That's all right.
Don't be sorry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very briefly, Mayor. I just want to address a couple of things that we did here, which is why I was very glad we were able to support that the community assistant grants, because a lot of those monies go to after-school programs like Wings, and for a lot of kids, who grew up in areas like I did. I grew up in, of course, 3 interdependent communities: Union Heights, Howard Heights, and the Winsdore community. For a lot of these kids, they don't really have resources that are necessary, and I believe that the mother of crime a lot of times is poverty. It's a lack of resources. So I totally agree that we need as many resources as possible to continue to go into these communities. I just left a meeting at the Prestige Academy, and we're working with some boys there. A lot of children if they just had a fair shot, we got so many different things working against us, and a lot of people will have their different theories of what is what. But I believe that when education is not really up to par, kids do not have a fair chance at life. When we have a failing school system that does not properly educate children, they cannot go to college, they cannot get the jobs that actually make real money, and then they cannot come back to their communities and reinvest in their communities. So I really just want to thank council for supporting that community assistant grant. And it might seem like something small to you guys, but I promise you, to some children that do not have what we have access to, it's a major, major blessing. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there, and thank you guys so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Mayor Summey, I just want to piggyback on what Councilman Brown said about the prestigious academy. They are in dire need of some volunteers. So if our community, if anyone in our community have an hour here or an hour there to give to that school, which is it's going to be a vital part of our community, I would ask that you do that. You could contact me, I can get the information to you, and this would be a plus win-win for our community. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, first of all, I thought your State of the City address was excellent. I think this exchange is very, very constructive. But as we end our council meeting tonight, I hope that we will all go forth with a thought and a prayer for the family of Edward E.J. Mascaro, our North Charleston fireman, whom we lost last week in just a horrible tragedy. We think about our first responders sometimes as abstractions, but when we need them, they're there. And they're human beings, they have families, and we've lost a member of the finest fire department in the Southeast. So let us be thinking, again, with thoughts and prayers about him and his family.
Thank you, sir. Anyone down at this end? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for attending.